hand for our musicians tonight, our excellent bartender, Dave.
Yeah, I'm not talking myself.
And Brian, the man, hooking everything up, organizing it. A lot of props to him. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit and try to make you guys laugh, hopefully. At least you can laugh at me. So, it's been a while since I've been up here, so feeling a little crazy tonight, you guys. It is Ruckus, after all. Feeling a little off the wall and extreme. You know, I think when I'm going to go home tonight, I'm going to take my iPod Shuffle and fill it full of copies of the exact same song and put it on shuffle. Because I'm fucking hardcore. So, watching trends here. Kids' board games are pretty popular now. You have movies like Battleship. I don't know what the hell happened with that. I'm sorry, Liam Nielsen, I can't look at you the same way after that, but, you know, board games are pretty popular now. You have people playing Twister, and, you know, you gotta be careful with that. I think Chutes and Ladders is kind of the gateway board game to child molestation. Because before you know it, you're gonna be playing Candyland, and you're gonna be riding around with a van with no windows, cruising to elementary schools, and we pretty much know what's going to happen after that. So, moving on from one disturbing topic to one probably even more disturbing. You know, when you're with your buddies and you're drinking, it's funny how the more you drink is directly proportional to the bar at which you would sleep with someone. So, for me personally, if I get really, really smashed, and I mean obliterated, like I cannot fucking see straight drunk, I'm gonna skip trying to hook up with chicks that I would normally never talk to and just go straight to having sex with a sheep. Why not? You know, I tell you though, you laugh at it if you want, but you know it works because there wouldn't be jokes about it if that didn't happen. But for a second, try to imagine the mind of the sheep in which this is happening to, right? I mean, you imagine you're with a bunch of people and like you go up to a sheep and you try to pet it and it's like me, and it's all like backing up in the corner, and people are like, why is the sheep so skittish? It's like, yeah, you know why it's fucking skittish, right? You did some terrible shit to that animal. But just like the board games, you got to be very careful with this because it could just spiral out of control. You know, a couple months later, you could be in a one-bedroom studio apartment with 7 sheep in the apartment. And you walk in late at night and lock that door, you have some evil grin on your face. Those sheep know what's coming. And even though they're animals, they know they're not all supposed to be there in a studio apartment in Manhattan. It's just, they're not supposed to be there, right? The sheep can't tell anyone. And I don't know what's more disturbing, making a joke about it or laughing about the emotional scarredness of the animal. So shame on all of you for even acknowledging that I'm talking about it. So moving on to things less offensive, I hope, or maybe not. I'm thinking about the dating game a little bit. So I like to think of dating and, you know, going out with people as kind of a game like Xbox, where you get handed this controller, right? Like the dating game is like an Xbox controller, and there's thousands of complicated buttons. You don't know what the hell is going on, and none of them work most of the time. Right? That's kind of the dating game. That's how it works. But why can't it be simple where the Xbox dating game is just 4 buttons, right? It's like eat, sleep, fuck, and drink. Like, can we just not keep it simple? Just like that? But I think it's lacking a crucial button, which is the masturbate button, because the fuck button is not always available. It's not always there if you want to push it, so sometimes you need kind of the masturbate button on the side, just tap that a little bit. But you gotta be careful, because if you hit it too much, now it's a fucking single-player game again, and you're just kind of playing by yourself. So the Xbox dating game for single people is 1 controller and a gigantic masturbate button, and you're just bashing your head about it the whole time. And you gotta be careful with that, but hopefully it doesn't break. And then hopefully player 2 will join the game at some point in your miserable life.
It's not an Xbox controller, it's a joystick.
But I like to go to restaurants. I like to eat food, obviously, for my well-toned physique. You can tell. But when I go to a new restaurant, I like to wonder who was the first person to ever walk out without paying. And specifically, has this ever been like a dog? Because it would be unreasonable to expect it to have money in the first place. Right? Like, it's a dog. It's hungry. Like, it's going to want to eat. You can't get mad at it. Who even let it in the restaurant in the first place? But, and even if you could make it wash dishes to pay for the meal, it could probably just lick the plates and you'd have to clean it again. So, I don't know where that goes. But that's what I thought about today, actually. So, actually, so when I'm ordering food, I like to order some of the smaller vegetables, like the little tiny corns and little tiny broccoli, and just like pretend I'm a giant monster, like, and like I'm eating trees and shit, like, I try to keep this to myself, but sometimes it spreads out to other people around me, which is why I eat alone quite frequently. So I've been watching bodybuilding. Actually, I haven't. That's a fucking lie. But if you're familiar with Mr. Universe, I think the title Mr. Universe is a little pretentious. Because what if aliens have really big muscles too, and we're not including them? It seems like a little unfair to me that we call it Mr. Universe. There's probably a lot of pissed off aliens that frankly are too cool for us to respond to. And they've got massive muscles, and they're going to be pissed off and take it out on us. So keep an eye out for that. Shopping the other day, I'm looking at vegetables, and I started thinking about what are some of the personality types behind vegetables. Like, what really pissed me off is, if you're familiar with a vegetable called bok choy, I think bok choy is bullshit. Okay, I think he's one of those pretentious kids, and they gave him like 50 last names and an Esquire in the front and like the third in the back. Why is this called something different than another vegetable name? And I think at night in the supermarket, when people aren't around to witness this, which is what all Disney movies are based on, by the way, bok choy is just like that pompous son of a bitch that thinks he has clout because he sounds all international and shit. Fucking Asian bok choy. Like, he's better than all the other vegetables. But the one that really pisses me off are strawberries. Okay? And strawberries really piss me off because I look at strawberries like that popular hot chick that all the produce wants to bang. You know, they always get the deals with the candy companies, like they're always some sort of strawberry flavor. Everyone likes strawberries. They get dipped in whipped cream. Sluts. That's all I got tonight, Ruckus. Thanks for having me. And another hand for our musician tonight.